Texas landed an elite edge prospect in Duncanville's Colin Simmons. It's a big deal. The last time Texas had a true weak side edge type this highly touted, we'd have to go back to 2006 with Sergio Kindle. So it's been about 17 years. You've seen all the recruiting hype, social media graphics, message board highs and lows. But what does a top pass rusher actually look like coming out of high school? Without further ado, let's get into it. Colin Simmons just finished his senior year with back-to-back state titles, but we're going to look at his junior tape to evaluate his growth. He's currently listed at 6'2.5" and 225 pounds. Traditionally, you can say he's undersized. Here's what one scout had to say about Simmons. Quote, lighter, undersized defensive end built more in the mold of a linebacker. Compensates for size with rare pass rush instincts and traits. Shows basketball open court quickness and space as a pass rusher. Can extend his arms and control offensive linemen. Plays bigger than his size. Shows first step quickness you want out of an undersized pass rusher. Will need to show the ability to anchor against the run. Has some frame limitations. Has some bust potential due to his size, but also has upside to be an early round draft pick due to his pass rush traits. Oh, wait up, my bad. That scouting report wasn't about Colin Simmons. That was actually an evaluation of Will Anderson coming out of high school, and I think he's a good comp. Here's Will Anderson putting in work his junior year of high school in Georgia. Insanely quick off the ball, able to make split-second adjustments and routes to the quarterback, and he has top-tier pursuit and recognition. All the same can be said of Colin Simmons, except Simmons is faster, and he always has been. Let's take a look at baby Colin Simmons, his freshman year at Duncanville. You'll see this quick get-off is a natural trait he possesses. These tackles really don't stand a chance. Even as a 14-year-old, he's just lightning fast off the ball, moving right as the center snaps it. It's unfair, and Colin has been able to leverage that key superpower as he advanced onto the varsity team. But if the position was purely about speed, then you'd put your 10-3 100-meter wide receiver at edge. So what actually maximizes the ability of a pass rusher? He has two options. He can beat tackles so fast around the corner he doesn't even get touched, or he can use his ability to bend around the contact. And you hear that word a lot, bend. What does it actually mean? It's a pass rusher's ability to stay low to the ground, sink his hips and shoulder pads below the offensive tackle's torso while maintaining speed. If Colin were to play too high, the tackle can shove him off balance, able to get a hold of his chest. Instead, he can dip below the tackle's lower half while contorting his upper body around the tackle, bending around the edge. It's like a wrestler shooting a single leg without touching his knees to the mat. That leverage makes all the difference in getting sacks or getting blocked. Simmons freaks out tackles, and he should. He can go from a wide technique outside of the tackle, burning them with pure speed, and the fear of this causes the tackle to overset, leaving too much room on the inside. Oversetting then gives Simmons the opportunity to make an inside move himself, or it benefits his teammates. If he widens that B gap enough, you can help isolate the defensive tackle on his guard, or you can send a backer end after the quarterback untouched. So even if Colin doesn't make the sack himself, he can still be the reason the sack was made. This versatility to the inside or outside allows Simmons to use more skill-based secondary moves that can set tackles up. Rush outside, freeze, fake inside, get the tackle to bite, and then step back outside for the sack. It forces the tackles to stop and think, and in that time, Simmons is already at the quarterback. So what do you do about Simmons? Double team him with a back and protection? You can try. Colin is a handful even against double teams. He has a unique understanding for where the quarterback is in the pocket, able to get skinny and split the double team. And of course, double teaming Colin once again benefits his teammates and allows them one-on-ones. A good pass rusher benefits the entire team. He allows his fellow defensive linemen more clear matchups, linebackers the ability to shoot interior gaps, and keeps the secondary from having to cover too long. There's a reason these dudes get paid in the NFL. And on top of the pure rushing side, Simmons is disruptive even when he can't make the sack. He's speeding the quarterback's clock up, increasing the odds of an errant pass or freezing up under pressure. He can affect the quarterback without ever touching him, and that's the true mark of a game-changing edge. He's so quick to the quarterback he can throw those arms up and swat balls down or tip them up for grabs in the secondary. Forcing incompletions is a routine part of his game. He had 13 pass breakups his junior year doing just that. But at the end of the day, the pass is just half the game. with pure drop back passing being an even smaller portion of that. So 3rd and long is set, but what can Simmons do against the run? But before we do that, this video is brought to you by Rogue Shop. Rogue Shop is a veteran-owned business geared to creating high-quality, natural CBD products. Rogue Shop's handcrafted, locally sourced CBD can help both athletes and fans alike recover from exercise, ease sore or achy muscles, target occasional joint discomfort, and promote more restful sleep. Rogue Shop's beeswax and mango butter topical pain cream is my personal choice to soothe those everyday soft tissue aches. It's a must for every training table and medicine cabinet. Order online from Rogue Shop today and they will give you an automatic 10% off your purchase. Just use promo code TexasHomer, one word, when you visit rogueshop.com and save instantly. Link in the description. The good part is that speed on the pass rush translates to blowing up the run as well. He can get past tackles and into the backfield and blow the play up at the mesh point. But I think the most important aspect is his ability to stack and shed. And that's just fancy football speak for locking out your arms, peeking around the blocker, and then discarding the block to fill the gap the running back is headed towards. And even though Simmons isn't a huge end, he's capable of doing this. If the block is successful, Simmons can use his reach to stick that arm out and get a hold of the running back's jersey and slow them down from hitting the hole at full speed, so his teammates can rally and make the tackle. He also isn't afraid to just get into the mix. There can be several blockers and Simmons throws his body into the gap, spilling the running back outside where he has help while keeping his eyes downfield and prepared to make the play if the back does challenge his gap. Another tactic you'll see teams do against talented edge rushers is just leave them unblocked and run the opposite direction. This isn't a valid strategy against high-level edge players. His play recognition is tremendous for a young player, and he can get flat behind the line and make the tackle from the backside or recover quickly if the quarterback pulls it. Of course, he's not a finished product in the run game. He'll have to add size and strength for the college game, but his technique and understanding of run schemes as a junior is key. It's not pure athleticism with Colin. His mind is right too, and he knows what's coming at him. This intelligence translates throughout the game. Like I said earlier, he has an impressive ability to sense and seek the ball carrier and lock in on them even when they are momentarily out of sight. Pair that with off-the-field study and it brings us back to that Will Anderson comp. Anderson was and is a special athlete, like Colin, but Anderson was able to maximize due to his mentality. Anderson was relentless on and off the field. We haven't seen those chapters of Colin's story unfold yet, but let's observe the mentality expressed on the field first. Simmons doesn't take plays off. His secondary effort when the initial assault isn't successful is important. He stays after quarterbacks if he overruns them. He's on the heels of backs running away from him. Simmons doesn't just do one pass move and when it fails, the rep is over. Beyond being gifted and technical, he's a football player. And off the field, he has a strong presence as well. In interviews, he said he was going to Texas to go 3 and out. He wants to go directly to the NFL. And it takes confidence to state that publicly. You can watch his post-game interview after winning state last year, and he has good command on the mic. He's media savvy, able to play his recruitment up effectively between his top 3 while keeping things close to the vest. And Duncanville coaches say he's a player his teammates do gravitate towards due to that combination of off and on the field confidence. But there is a lot of weight on his shoulders and he's young, so I expect some struggles and adversity. And that's an important part of growing into your potential. But a strong mental makeup will allow him to fully exploit his athletic abilities. But an often not talked about key piece in showing out on the field is being a scheme fit in the defense he's going to join. How does PK's scheme benefit a player like Simmons? First, there's some semantics. Generally, a pass rushing defensive end would go to the weak side of the formation away from the tight end. That allows that weak side pass rusher to be isolated one-on-one with the tackle, giving him the opportunity to make his plays. But there's other ways to go about it. PK always sets his pass rushing end to the boundary side or the short side of the field. Generally, offenses set their formations to the field since there's simply more space to place players, but they can put their tight end to the boundary or even the strength of the passing formation there as well. A majority of the time, it'll still result in Colin one-on-one in a pass rush against the tackle, but occasionally teams will run the ball into the boundary with a tight end, so Simmons will need to be able to hold up against the run to his side. But Barron Sorrell, our other defensive end that we call the Jack, will be ran at more often, and that's why he's more traditionally built to withstand the rushing attack. PK usually runs a 4-down defensive line, allowing Simmons a gap to attack and penetrate, opposed to the more space-eating versions of a 3-down line. This allows Colin to pin his ears back and go after the passer or shoot his gap in the run game. Simmons can go hand in the dirt or stand up on the edge, and PK also allows for this flexibility. Another feature is occasionally Simmons will drop back into pass coverage to cover the boundary flat. This allows PK to send another defender on the blitz to confuse the quarterback. You saw this implemented with Anderson at Alabama as well. But the vast majority of the time, Simmons will be able to just get after it. Pair Simmons with an Anthony Hill in the pass rush, and it's tough sledding for the opposing quarterback because someone is getting home. And I know we can get a little bit into the weeds when we're discussing scheme, but it is important to verify that PK's scheme will allow Simmons to do what he does best, and that's make plays. And now a lot of the times when we're doing an evaluation exercise, we are looking for physical traits that project at a Power 5 level, and for the special ones, the NFL level. Production is nice, but it's not necessary when you're trying to read the future. Luckily, Simmons has been an absolute beast in the stat columns on top of his projection. In his junior year, Simmons had an insane stat line: 79 tackles, 33 tackles for loss, and 22.5 sacks, 13 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles, all at the 6A Division I level, the highest level of competition in Texas high school football. And to our benefit, this isn't an all, wow, he's so tall, he's so long, he's so big, he's so fast surface level analysis. We have on-field production to back it up. So we have a ton of upside here, but what are the questions still left for Colin to answer when he gets to campus? I'm more curious to watch his body and technique continue to develop. Simmons is already balling, but does he get even more efficient in his pass rush, meaning less movement to secure the same result? Is he adding new pass rushing moves to his bag consistently? Does he get stronger at the point of attack in the run versus 20-plus-year-old linemen? These are all things that show me his mind is progressing along with his body. Is he generally smaller than other pass rushers at this stage? Yeah, by a few pounds than an inch in height, but he can pack on serious weight once he gets in a college strength and conditioning program. How does he handle the success he's already achieved, and how does he improve on that heading into an SEC environment? It's a huge win for Texas. Like I said, we haven't seen this level of pass rushing talent since '06, so the coaches are identifying talent and securing it. And it adds a whole other dimension for opposing teams in the SEC to worry about. Texas and Simmons stay the course and loading up the trenches with talent, then success will follow. We're already in the playoffs and we don't even have game-changing exterior pass rushing. So that will only improve in the coming years. Thanks for hanging out. Watch some more of my videos here. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you want to support quality Texas content. As always, hook 'em.